Hey guys, it's Mike with Mosquito Bite Mike. So I want to welcome you back to our summer barbecue series. I'm going to show you something that I did yesterday. I got a wild hair and I wanted to do a little MacGyvering, and I've been wanting to try to turn my Weber into a smoker when I just want to do a few pieces of meat or a small amount without having to fire up the big pit and having to go to all that trouble and all the cleanup and everything that's entailed with that. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I just didn't have any good ideas on what that was really going to look like. So I was thinking of trying to figure out how do I isolate the fire in one side of the Weber and get somewhat of an indirect heat, an indirect smoke. I was having difficulty with that. I was trying to figure out how to put a foil curtain in there, maybe with some coat hangers, and nothing just rang very true. And then all of a sudden, it dawned on me that, you know what? I have a charcoal starter that might fit perfectly, at least I hoped it would, in my Weber. And you know what? Check this out. All I had to do is take the top piece of the grate out, and then of course the bottom, the charcoal grate on the bottom. That thing sat right in there perfectly and just made a perfect spot to put my coals, or my wood chips actually, and set them on fire. And then that gave me all that rack around there to put food, which is actually, you can put quite a bit of food on that, so it's a pretty good size. So here we go. I'm going to take you through the whole thing and let you look and see how it came out and what it looked like. For our fire today, we're going to use some mesquite chunks, and to light that fire, we have some quick light fire starters from Kingsford. Now, I really like to use those because it keeps the chemicals out of your wood and off your fire, and hopefully out of your food. So anyway, I've added some wood to our charcoal starter and some of those little fire starters, and so now we're going to take this and it'll be really easy to light it up, and then we're going to add some extra wood on top of it after it gets going a bit. For our experiment today, I have managed to drag an old chicken breast out of the freezer that was all freezer burned, and beat it down into submission and put a little Italian dressing on it to try to make it edible. Then we also have a ribeye, which is a really nice ribeye that we're also going to pan sear in our cast iron like we do on each side. And then we have some asparagus that have some olive oil and some Tony Chachere's on it. And if you're not familiar with that, that's basically salt with cayenne in it. It's like a Louisiana style salt. So there you go. Next up, we light our fire. And as you can see, that's going to take really well, and we're not going to have any problems with the fire today. So we get that all going, and then we want to let it get caught good and let the wood get smoldering pretty good, and then we'll add more wood on top of it. All right, so we've got our grill heated up. We've got a good fire going, so it's time to add the chicken. We're going to give it some head start because it's going to take a little bit longer to do. And while that's getting happy, we're going to go pan sear each side of our ribeye and get it ready. Next up, we'll check our chicken, make sure it's doing okay, and it looks like it is. It's not cooking too fast, which is good. We'll throw our pan-seared ribeye on there, put the top back on, and let it hang out for a while. So after about 10 minutes, we'll go ahead and check our chicken again and make sure it's doing okay. And then we also want to check our ribeye, see how it's looking, and then it'll be time to put the asparagus on. We're done. So the big question is, was our experiment a success, partial success, or was it a failure? So I'm going to have to go with, it was mostly a success. It was super easy to do. To MacGyver this thing and put it together was just really easy, and it didn't take any kind of you didn't have to take things apart and put them back together. So it all goes back together easy just by moving the grates around. The meat came out good. The steak was really tender. The vegetables were good. The chicken, even though we started off with a piece of chicken that was just literally a hot mess, it actually came out pretty good too. So some lessons learned. When it comes to the, I'm going to build next time I do this, I'm going to build a little foil fence around the grill, so that I don't lose vegetables over the side. That was a problem, as you saw in the video a while ago. The one negative about this whole thing was the smoke. The smoke was over the top. I had no idea that it was going to come out like that. I really did. In fact, I was at one point, since the meat wasn't going to be on very long, I was actually worried that maybe not getting enough smoke was going to be a problem. I know mesquite's a stronger smoke. I don't ever use hickory just for that reason. But it was, yeah, way too much. It was nobody would have really liked that. So so for next time, that's the only thing that really kind of was a fail here. So next time I'm gonna have to figure out how to either maybe mix that with some oak, not put as much wood in there, something. We're gonna have to do something and to make it better. But overall, super good success. I urge you to give it a try if you don't have a smoker yet, don't want to make that leap into several $100s, or in as much as you can want to spend at some point. If you've got a charcoal grill like this is a good way to get into it. You know, the negatives are obviously you're not going to do a brisket on this thing, not without some more MacGyvering for sure, and a pork butt would probably be pretty tough. But small rack of ribs, hamburgers, steaks, chicken, a little bit of corn, takes up a lot of room, but you can still get a few ears on there, some vegetables, all easily done, and you'll be able to get some smoke, and you won't have a big mess to clean up. So I urge you to give that a try. So anyway, that's about all for me this time. So until next time, I'm out.